Hey, good morning, everybody. Sarasota Tim. Man, I'm getting a late start. I've been up for hours, and I got to get you a little video here and get going. It's almost 9 o'clock. I got some information for you that's I just can't wait to share it. It's just, stuff. Nothing big, so don't get your hopes up. Big to me, that micro light over there, I heard a diesel truck running, his tow vehicle, and they're leaving. And it was Mr. Lee and his lovely wife, Gail. And ironically, they live very close to my daughter. And he has a little farm. It's a third generation farm, been handed down to him. He bought some of the property, but it keeps going down the family. We were talking about how that area has grown, like their mailboxes across the 136 and the 183 or whatever that other one is, where the roads both have the same number. And he said during the fall when the apple orchard's going on, they live right next to Coca-Cola Falls. I'm saying it wrong, but I've been there. My daughter took me there a couple of times. Apalachicola Falls or something like that. I can never remember the exact name. It's a very popular place. You take a hike, there's some waterfalls up there. Beautiful place. You don't have to come all the way to Tennessee to see beauty. That North Georgia's got it. Anyway, I said, I got to say goodbye to you, a fellow microlight. I said, I haven't seen too many. I haven't met anybody with one. He bought it at Camp Oaks from Aaron and Kimberly. That's the owners. They also traded a camper called a Kodiak, I think. And theirs is a 25, same thing, 2511 on the outside. It's called a 25 FKB. No bedroom slide. The bed is mounted. Mine goes, across the camper. Theirs goes from the end of the camper back towards the kitchen. And you don't need a slide. And you can walk around it. And you can go in that back door right in the bathroom if you have to stop. I can get to mine too, but I can't lay down in there. What is this? What does that say? What does that say? Left behind. This. Oh. I got my Mac uploading iOS 26, and my phone's telling me that I left it behind. Pretty smart. Anyway, I've always said I've got the best one, the best floor plan. In a situation where you want to stay at a Love's, I can push my slide out, still going to impede if I got two spots. I mean, if I got another spot next to me in that overnight parking, even if I let it out a little bit, unless I get lucky and arrange it where I'm on the end or something like that, they don't have to worry about that. They can pull over, get back there, open that back door and go in there and lay down. It's a normal bedroom. There's no slide, lest they go wrong too. And it's the same length as mine. The refrigerator's moved over to the other side. The exact same kitchen. Counter, colors, the floor, the cabinets, and they even got an outdoor fridge, one of them dorm fridges in the front on one of them storage things right outside the front door entrance. Other than that, they're the same. And this is their maiden voyage. And he had a short bed Dodge Ram diesel because he's got an excavator and he's on a farm and he's got a couple of trailers he pulls. So he has this, but when he's not towing that camper, it stays in a storage. He's got like 5 vehicles on the farm. Said it wasn't a big farm, but 5 vehicles, trailers, excavators. One thing Lee's got. Plenty of vehicles. They were the loveliest people. I told them about being basically neighbors with my daughter, and he was trying to tell me about his dad was born in 1913, and grandpa made shoes for the kids. The youngest one got them first, and the eldest one didn't get shoes sometimes till winter. They only lasted a year. They like this place here because their friend comes there all the time. They're Christian folks, and we have church on Sunday at that little pavilion there. I said, yeah, they do. I said, I thought somebody was getting into it the other day when they were, I said, he was preaching hell and damnation. They laugh. They got Georgia accents. And, you know, not saying you got to speak like a Southerner, but these people are third, fourth generation Georgia people. You don't get born in the South and get raised without learning manners, kindness, sharing, skills, farming, cooking, family values, snatching a knot in your kid's tail if they need it. You know what he told me? I don't know why I want to share this, but we just got to talking because we got on politics a little bit about Charlie Kirk. And, you know, I was saying, you know, I was probably a Democrat as a kid because we weren't rich. And, you know, Republicans are known to be like the rich people. We, you know, so Democrats today, people, not the liberal woke nut jobs, but mostly it's these politicians that call themselves a Democrat that hijack the name. They're really not Democrats, not of the true sense. They're, I don't know what they are. Communist, whack jobs, evil, thieves. That's what they are. So when I say negative towards Democrats, I'm talking about them. I'm not talking about the people. Hell, I'm a Democrat. You know, I'm not a rich person. I'm a blue collar guy. I associate myself basically more comfortable with the average person. I'm not the high and mighty that people want to stereotype Republicans to be. But most Republicans today associate themselves as what I just described, like the old-timey Democrat, but mainly a moral, God-fearing, Christian-believing, you know, person. As well as there might be some very successful, wealthy ones. But there's plenty of wealthy Democrats. They call themselves that. Those aren't the politicians. Those are those Hollywood people and everything. Anyway, it's confusing. I said all that to say this. He says, you know, in the beginning, because they were, you know, his family lived in the mountains. You know, the Ku Klux Klan wasn't what people think it is today. Oh, I said, okay, I'll bite. What do you mean? Do you know, and this sounds absolutely true, do you know that in those days, the Ku Klux Klan, nobody at that gas station, but I want to buy some gas. Why isn't it open? Up in the mountains and in the, you know, in those places, there wasn't a lot of police. A lot of people made moonshine those days, and the police didn't want to get shot, so they didn't come up there. So you had to police yourself. And when it was found out that you were doing something wrong, you know, beating your wife, beating your children too hard, you could beat them, just don't beat them too hard. No, when you were doing anything wrong, as Lee put it, that wasn't right, because you got to remember, these people were God-fearing people. They would come and put a burning cross in your yard, basically like telling you, hey, straighten up and fly right. It wasn't what people think it is today. See, that's what it is. Everybody's been brainwashed to believe words mean this today, and they were meant for something else. Sayings, spanking your child is cruel and you're going to go to jail. And that's the problem is people aren't disciplining their children today. Can I get gas? Anyway, that's what the Ku Klux Klan originally was. Wasn't against black people, against any people. And he said, you know, everybody knew each other up there, even though they wore those hoods. You pretty much knew who it was. It was just sort of like a spanking for an adult. Like, straighten up, buddy. Shouldn't be hitting your kids. You shouldn't be hitting your wife. And that's what it was. Now, what else I want to tell you? I just had to tell you that piece. And I believe that. Anyway, they love the camper. It was great that they bought it. Never heard of me. They're going to subscribe. They're going to check out the videos. They're going to, where are they going next? They're going home today, and then they're going to go somewhere. It's their maiden voyage. But we just kind of meshed. We just sat there. Gail was just as sweet as she could be. You could tell these two were two peas in a pod, happily married. I didn't find out how long, but you know, it was two people that I won't forget today that I met. It was a real pleasure to speak to. And I heard his truck running. They were leaving, and I just said, go over there, Tim, and introduce yourself that you got the same kind of camper. And that's what I did. And I said, hey, I just got to say goodbye to somebody with a microlight. So I got that one right there. Yeah, we saw that. Then when I told him I came around video in the creek the other day, he said, I saw you, making videos. So, people notice you out there RVs. Everybody's looking out for each other. But I was going to tell you this. Gail says, because I asked him, I said, how'd you find this place? Their friend goes there all the time and always talked about how it's a nice place and they have church on Sunday and that kind of thing. And so you see how through word of mouth, everything, restaurants, campgrounds, buying your car, where to buy a car, through YouTube, through reviews and meeting people and networking. That's how, another thing Lee said is, well, that's kind of like a political thing. We won't have to discuss that right now. But it was a very valid point that he made. But it wasn't a conversation about politics. We were mostly talking about that RV. And I was telling him, like, hey, pro tip, my awning is doing this. My one jack went out. If you're going to lift your tongue jack up, watch those steps. He already knew about that. Lift those steps up, because when you push the trailer up and those steps are down on the ground, you can bend them, So I said, you need a checklist, like someone told me, because there's so many things and you're always forgetting something. I should have told him about the slide. If you're watching this, those drawers in the kitchen next to the pantry to the left of the sink, if you don't snap them in all the way, if you're driving, they could slide out about 4 or 5 inches, and then you get in there and hit that living room slide and you pull it out and you don't peek back around there to make sure them drawers are still in. Ask me how I know. You can rip those front of those drawers right off. I heard something kind of creak, and I had caught mine, and they're slightly off, but it didn't do any damage. Where the drawers came out, and there's a big lip on that living room slide that will catch them just like a hook. And so let me get this video up, because I'm probably going to stop uploading by the time I get to the mountains, because they're right here. But I've got to get up there and do another hike. I did feel a little sore this morning, not in my legs so much, but my back. I think it was that golf. I've got my backpack thing. I brought water. I got a rotisserie chicken I bought at Publix yesterday. It's in my refrigerator. I got plenty of white meat on it. I can eat a couple of boiled eggs. So I'm not going to starve to death. And that's it. But good morning to everybody. Another beautiful day in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Just meeting people. I haven't talked to people too much when I was in Sarasota. I really didn't. Go to the gym, go walk. It's just nice conversating with people. You can't not. If you don't chat them up, they're going to chat you up. Everyone has time to speak to you. I said, well, I don't want to hold you guys up. You know, I know you're trying to get out. He goes, you ain't holding us up. He'd have jawed with me all day. And it's just a good feeling, you know. And I know everybody in Georgia's like they are here, and Alabama. I got that one subscriber in Alabama. He don't miss a video. He comments just like a lot of you do. You comment on every video. And I'm sure you're the same kind of people. All of you. And I'm really a blessed man, man. I feel good today. I hope to bring you guys another HD video. Oh my gosh, this has been 15 minutes. And I hope it goes up. What final thing can I say? Because it's going to be a little while today before you hear from me again, before I get home and can use my Wi-Fi and everything. T-Mobile isn't the best up here. Hey, there's a BJ's coming to Sevierville. I saw it on the TV this morning, promoting it. So that's good. That's good. All right, everybody. I hate to turn the camera off. I like to talk a little while. Look at all this stuff around here in Pigeon Forge. I can go to any of it. I'm getting ready to leave it and go up in the mountains where it's God's country. Crush it.